The night of my last drink or drug, it was July 9th, 1988. And to set the story up a little bit, I was in a complete fog. I had the jitters, the shakes, mental fog. I couldn't put sentences together. I was just afraid to be alone, afraid to be with people. It was a really tough spot for me to be. And spiritually, I was bankrupt. I'd had a Sunday school teacher tell me if I didn't burn my Beatles records, I was going to hell. And that kind of was where I was at spiritually. And I had gone to a recovery meeting. A friend of mine said he got court ordered there and that he was hearing great stories and he was learning how to drink. And that's what got me to my first meeting, thinking that there'd be some professor that could teach me once again how to just feel that little glow from booze, whether it was, 2 beers in a joint or whatever it was. As the Eagles say, that peaceful, easy feeling, and I lost the ability to maintain that. I just shoot right past it. And so here I am that night. July 9th, I had my guitar out. I had a piece of paper, a notebook actually, with a pen. And I didn't have any alcohol and I didn't have any real drugs to speak of. I had scraped all my little smoking devices and came up with a little ball of resin. We used to call that the ball of confusion. And so I took a puff off of that ball of resin and I started choking and gagging and I started sobbing and I had goosebumps all over me and my hair was standing up on my arms and I was tingling all over and I was like, what is going on? And I thought I was having a massive heart attack of some sort, but it wasn't in my chest. It was all over. It was a full body thing. And I didn't know what was going on. I was sobbing uncontrollably. And then in the stillness, I heard a voice. And I know today was the voice of my passed on grandfather. And he said, Mark, if you continue to drink a drug, you're going to die. And then he asked me the most poignant question I've ever heard in my life. He said, do you want to die? And I picked up that notebook that I was going to write a great song on, and I picked up that pen, and I wrote no in the center of it. And I circled it 100 times. 100 times. And miraculously, everything just kind of faded out, and I fell asleep. And I woke up the next morning on July 10th, 1988, and there was that notebook with the no circled. And I haven't had a drink or drug ever since. Some things are just inexplicable. It was my first exposure to hearing and feeling a presence from beyond. And that tingles and that feeling all over my body, that's how the work that I do today comes through me. When I feel that tingles and I feel that, I know that whoever I'm working with, that their loved ones are close by. I can't tell you who it is. I can't say it's, your Nana or whatnot, but I feel it. It's that feeling when divine guidance is coming in. And I love that. I love that. And it's funny, it took that absolute moment of darkness for me to be introduced to it. And many years later, for me to fully understand it, it started that path for me. It started that path for me to that there's another way. It's like I've always looking for a playbook of some sort. I was thinking that you all got a lesson that somewhere that I didn't get. So when that kid said he was learning how to drink, I thought that's the lesson I didn't get. And, what I have learned, I am just so humbled and grateful for, that I'm powerless over, my substances. I was seeking comfort long before I picked up a first drink. And, it's hard to talk about it. I like to honor my father now in spirit, but he gives me these tears and he says, it's okay. Because I don't like to repeat a lot of it, but it's like I was born happy, joyous, and free. And then, there's only so much, verbal assaulting and the belt that you can handle. And that's when I started seeking comfort. So today when I wake up, I don't ask for the desire for drink or drug to remove. I ask for the desire for the I self me to remove. That I selfish, the ism, the selfishness, that all of those things, that the symptoms the things that I sought comfort through. And it works. It works. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was something I really wanted to share today, because I know a lot of people, through the holidays struggle, the family situation. They have to relive a lot of those traumas again, the verbal abuse and whatnot and the chaos. And it's a difficult time. And my message is, don't go it alone. Please ask for help. I guess that's my message a lot lately, is don't go it alone. Please ask for help from somebody, from above, from someone in your orbit. Sometimes I like the term the insider on the outside. Maybe it's someone you went to high school with that maybe moved away, that's not part of your circle these days. The circle of, the parents that your kids, play sports with, or the people that you work with. Someone that you can just really let loose with and know that it's a vault. It's not coming back, because sometimes we just need to release and find a place that without fear, we can release it. And I'm fortunate to have a bunch of those outlets for me. And I hope that you find one of those things today. So a little long fireside chat today, but I felt it was something that I was really drawn to talk about today. And I'm forever grateful for everything that happened to me. And the reason why I can talk about those things now is because I rewrote the whole story from day one to a story of gratitude. Everything that happened to me happened to get me right here. And I'm not insulated to difficult things in my life. I have a lot of difficult things in my life. But where I am today is remarkable. I like to do the visual. I don't shake anymore. I think I've been able to freeform this video, at almost 7 minutes and have lucid thoughts. And spiritually, I'm not bankrupt anymore. It's like that voice that came to me that night, comes to me all the time and gives me really good, gentle, loving nudges and guidance. And sometimes I don't understand it, but I do know that when I follow it, it always works. It always works. It may seem so illogical, and it may be nothing to do with anything that's going on in your life. And maybe it's just that little simple gesture you needed to get out of yourself for a minute. But it always works. And the more I lean into it, the more it comes, and the more things change for me on the inside. And that inside is what helps me have a better perspective on the outside of things. I'm just thinking of the 4 Agreements. What a wonderful book it is. If you haven't read it, give it a shot. But it talks about use your words impeccably. Especially, I translated that to self-talk, and self-thoughts. Use those impeccably, because our words have power. Don't take anything personally. Anybody's attack on you is really not attacking you. It's a reflection of themselves. Assume nothing. We have no idea what's going on in other people's lives. And always do your best. What a wonderful, if you only adopt 4 things in your life as a credo, that would be pretty good. That would be enough. But this is a little bit long. I love you all. Dream big. If you'd like to work with me, click on the link in my bio.